In the age of castles and kings, House Bracanier ruled over the sleepy lumber town of Vohazy. The Bracaniers were a noble family, came from a long line of hunters who were said to be the sharpest archers in the world, their arrows able to pierce hidden snakes in grass and swift hawks mid-flight. Bracaniers fostered the burgeoning town that has otherwise been unattended to by the kingdom's other royals. The house shared their score with the townsfolk and sponsored the Guild of Pelt Market, where hunters, leatherworkers, woodcarvers, and vendors of all sorts could sell their wares on Weasel Way. As time went on, however, the family's accumulating wealth gave the upcoming Bracanier generations an unearned ego of superiority, pulling less than they had in generations past. As the people were able to rely less and less on the noble family's feasts, they instead leaned on the flowing pelt market. The Bracaniers shifted the purpose of their hunts as their ambitions shifted from pot hunting to sport hunting, each head of the Bracanier family attempting to outdo the last by killing an even greater quarry. This culminated with Lord Valdemar Bracanier, one of the few Bracaniers to reinstate the communal feasts and reconnect with the guild, albeit for the purpose of self-aggrandizement. The common folk heard whispers of the legendary unicorn living within the Bloodwood, just beyond the very forest they cut for timber. Valdemar gathered a fine party from both the pelt market and his family and set out towards the glade. No one came back from the hunt, except for one lone page who lost her mind within the forest, who only rambled incoherently about the unicorn. The disappearance of Valdemar and company meant the end of House Bracanier, and the Guild of Pelt Market assumed the role of Vohazy's political leadership. Though the Bracanier hounds have long since died out, the legend of the pursuit of the mythic beast in the Bloodwood has become second-hand knowledge, told in history books, fairy tales, and horror stories alike. But the age of castles has ended. The forests have been felled, and the unicorn hasn't been seen since. This is the Unicorn Hunt. I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and most other places at Aldermancy or at Sword Ghost. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andre. I'm the other game master for Unicorn Hunt. He, they pronouns. You can find me at Andre Rivera Art. We're going to be going around clockwise, so it is Depth next.
Hello, I'm Depth. I go by, you can find me on Chaotic Bunny in all the socials. I go by they, them pronouns.
Go ahead and say your character's name and pronouns too.
I play Teddy, who goes by she, they pronouns.
Hi everybody, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba on several socials. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing Archimedes, who also goes by he, him.
You're up next, Serenity.
I don't know how directions go. Hi, I'm Serenity. My pronouns are she, any. You can find me as Clickety Clack Snack or Click Clack Snack, only on Twitter for that one. I'm playing Vesla, who goes by any or no pronouns.
Howdy, my name is Sloan, aka Artplebe, and my pronouns are they, them. You can find me at Artplebe everywhere, and tonight I'm playing Talia, pronouns she, her.
Hi, I'm Dylan, or Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. I go by she, he, and they pronouns, and I am playing Shane tonight, who uses he, they pronouns.
Fantastic. We cut to the lush greenery surrounding Vohazy. Though it has largely been felled in these past centuries, there is still a richness and abundance in the natural flora here. There are small rabbits that scurry every once in a while. There are still songbirds that sing in the morning. And there is a peaceful breeze that shifts the leaves and gives a comforting, almost blanket-like rattle to anyone who has the privilege of staying in the forest at this coming morning. It is getting a little bit later in the day as the sun is rising and cresting through the greenery of the treetops and the canopy, as there's a sound of barking in the distance. The barking grows slightly louder. There is then the sputter and churning of a mechanical engine chugging along. Heavy footsteps, thunderous and tremorous as they echo through the floor of the forest. The animals start scurrying away. The birds stop singing. And the sun seems harsher. As we cut to a car. This car is something between an old buggy and a tank. The front half, very distinguished. The back half, extremely militaristic. It also has a large cabin and 2 seats at the front of the vehicle. In the passenger side seat is one glorious cage, and an aged white man with a distinctive mustache and stubble all over, streaked scars across his right eye from ages past, from a story he loves telling at parties. He wears suspenders that have additional ammunition stored inside of them, rolled up long sleeve shirt, cargo pants, and boots for trekking in the wilderness, as well as a distinctive fedora with feathers from past trophies of his own. And within this truck lie the rest of his pack, his crew. We're gonna go ahead. Who would like to describe their character first?
I'll go.
Go for it.
Archimedes looks like he's wearing clothes that are one size too big, but they're not hand-me-downs per se. They look quite noble in their design, but they also look torn, and like many like stitches have been like reinstituted. He's about 6 feet tall, African American for the sakes of the description. His hair is how it is here. It's a mess of braids. He's wearing glasses underneath, if you can see them, and he's like hunched over on purpose. And he's trying, as if he's trying to make him seem smaller, despite his clothing and his demeanor saying otherwise. He can't close his dress shirt properly, and he's wearing a very old looking tank top, and he's very hairy underneath that, and he just looks uncomfortable being here.
And why are you here? Why'd you take the job?
Promise of a permanent cure, and he's desperate enough to take it. It's the only reason he's here. Business, no pleasure.
we cut back to the previous night, where ooh, you know what? Let me give me 1 second. Is there more of a party one? Yeah, it's fine. We cut back to the previous night. That was the retirement party and announcement of this final expedition for the hunt of the unicorn in the Bloodwood Forest. The party is active. There's lots of people from all walks of life in this, from the mega elite from all across the world to criminals from the deepest underground syndicates. Everybody's rubbing shoulders, and a lot more comfortably than you might imagine. Archimedes, you are standing alone, as you tend to do. And you notice that as you're looking down, trying not to grab anyone's attention, you realize that you are actually standing on top of a wolf pelt rug.
As garish as ever. He's like steps off of it. He just tries not to like his eyes like try not to focus on the wolf part. Maybe just the carpet part of the pelt, but not just not the face of it. Face that's all too familiar.
You're trying to sort of dissociate the animal from the product per se. And as you're sort of in this self-made trance, a sudden slap on the back, very familiar, hits you. What are you doing out here? Huh? There's a whole party out there.
You didn't say anything about a party.
Yeah, well, it's good for you. You know, you've been cooped up there on your mountaintop for so long, right?
I was up there for a reason, Cage.
Well, you're not going to be cooped up there for too much longer if everything goes according to plan.
And when has anything gone according to plan with you?
Enough to get me to where I am.
Touche.
How about a drink, huh? Something to ease your nerves.
I know you keep pestering me until I do, so fine.
Cage leads you over to a bar that is within his large wood cabin hunting lodge, and it's being operated by some of his other goons and henchmen as they're working the tap. What does Archimedes order?
Anything that can just help him calm down. So like he knows T's not around, which is unfortunate, but and the quietest drink they have, one that won't make him cough or hate himself.
A light wine is what's served to you. A light wine for Cage is a little heavy.
Take it anyway.
Cage just orders the typical ale. Very foamy. He chugs it back. There's a little bit of the foam left on his mustache before he wipes it away. Why are you so down, huh? We're gonna get you something you've been wanting for a long time, right? Know what you want?
Well, until then, I think I'll remain my ever chipper self, if you don't mind.
I'm not saying you gotta be Archimedes the clown. Okay? I'm just saying there are connections here, and once you get yourself all fixed up, you're not gonna have to be a wallflower anymore, right? You're gonna need to start making connections if you want to join back in and reestablish your name, right?
Fine. I'll do my best.
I know the weight of a name.
It is a heavy one.
If you want to change your name, that's up to you. But there's power in names too.
Well, until I earn back my name and back my humanity, I think I'm fine.
Hey, you're human enough for me.
And he just looks around at the accoutrement of the cabin, and all.
This cabin.
What does this cabin look like, Andre?
It is decked the fuck out with skulls, pelts, bones, horns, skins. Every product that you could ever imagine being used from an animal has been utilized for its worst purpose. Overhead in the bar, you see a chandelier made entirely of snakes. Each one having a light bulb jammed in its mouth. The central anaconda, its light bulb is tied to its tongue.
As long as I don't end up as one of these garish designs, I'll be fine. Where do you find the free time to do all this?
An old friend. We share interests. She's a very good taxidermist.
The fact that people share your qualities is terrifying enough.
And that's why you're here, right?
That's why I'm here.
Go talk to some people, huh? Go socialize. It'll be good for you. And Cage...
Lawless group.
Cage walks out.
There was a little bit of a growl, like a sigh of, I can't believe I'm here, which is just like... And he walks over to find a group.
Great. We cut back to the car. And after your attempts at socialization, you are feeling extremely drained this late morning. Your social battery is already dead, and the day hasn't even started yet. But you know you're not here to socialize. You're here to get a job done. You're sitting in the back of the cabin. Who would like to go next?
I can do it. I got it. Put me in, coach.
Talia. You're not in the back of the cabin. You're not with the others.
Nope.
You're driving the car.
Passenger seat. Yeah. I'm either up in the... Am I driving? Did you say I'm driving?
You're driving the car.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You're driving
Yes,
this
I am.
monster of a vehicle. This is something you haven't done before. This is your first time behind the wheel of this vehicle.
Oh.
Describe your character.
All right. Talia, after a long night of one of Cage's parties, has her sunglasses placed firmly over her eyes and her bowler hat pulled low to keep any glints and gleams of sunlight from getting into her slightly photosensitive eyes on this morning. She has one hand on the steering wheel, is wearing collared shirt, rolled up above the elbows. Similarly to Cage, has suspenders. Her forearm, where it extends, and her hand, where it grips the steering wheel, is corded with muscle. She is extremely muscular. And it just kind of flexes, her muscles flex under her tanned skin. She's white, but she's obviously spent a lot of time in the sun. Black hair, cropped short to keep it out of the way for the most part. And she wears sensible pants, heavy boots, and she carries a sword. Probably at this point stowed maybe across the back of the seat so that it doesn't slip under the pedal or any nonsense like that. But yeah, if she were to lift her sunglasses, you would see that she had second day makeup smeared on her eyes, because she did not fucking bother to wipe her makeup off last night.
Talia, you're in the front seat, driving. And Cage is right next to you, and he's keeping a lookout through the front window. He's smoking a cigar, as usual. Leaving a trail behind even thicker than the exhaust from the car itself. And the scent of the tobacco takes you back to last night. You're very familiar with these sort of events for Cage. You've been on a number of these expeditions before, and you know that these are very lavish. He does not waste a dime on these sort of get-togethers and seances. And as you are looking around the cavalcade of guests that are inside of this party, this entourage, your eye gets caught on one woman's very fine ermine coat. It is thick, and every single tail goes from white to stark black instantly. It is rich, and it is fluffy, and it looks luxurious. And then you feel it as she brushes past you.
Where's she going?
She sort of like elbows you almost as she is going past, and like gives you an eye up and down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In both an aggressive way and a flirty way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, all right, I'll shoot. She kind of like adjusts. Night before, she looks a little nicer. Pinstripe suit with the vest. And smiles just a little quirk of a smile as this person brushes past her, looks into her drink, takes a sip before turning, and is gonna follow that ermine coat wherever it's headed.
As soon as you turn around, your boss is right in front of you. Talia, how you doing, huh? How are you enjoying the drinks? They good? I know you're usually pretty good at these events, so.
Yeah, they're great. Thanks.
Good.
Was that on purpose? Did you put her up to doing that? Was it just a fun little thing?
Oh, her? Oh, she's from over in Chilburn, associated with some big fashion designer. She's not worth your time. Don't. She doesn't run in the same circles. Maybe for tonight, but
Something that is worth my time?
a little time.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk to you about tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I know I usually have snipes running the vehicles, but I want to make sure that everybody in the and the core group is together for this expedition, considering the possible risks at hand, you know? So, I'm gonna be having you drive the car.
No problem. If it gets snipes out of my fucking ass, I'm down for it.
And it's gonna be a lot better than fucking around with Smith & Wesson on the horses, right?
Right.
They're actually gonna be wrangling up the elephant we're bringing along, so hopefully that won't be too much trouble.
Great. Then they'll be out of my hair as well. Perfect.
He kind of pulls you aside away from a little bit more of the chatter, and sets you down on a familiar couch made from a camel. Each back is a different hump, and the legs have been rearranged to fit a sofa rather than an animal. With sort of Moroccan designed pillows on top.
God, this guy sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. He sits you down. I also wanted to talk to you about the tomorrow after tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, obviously this is my retirement, my big sending off.
Yeah. It's a big milestone. She's kind of looking into her glass and trying to be nonchalant.
And, you know, somebody's got to run the pack while I'm gone, right?
What are you saying?
You're gonna be the new alpha after I retire, after this mission.
Don't jerk me around. Goris, I'm not kidding.
Cage is dead serious right now. There is not... You know Cage is a sly motherfucker, and he smirks whenever he's playing a little gag. You've seen it several times. He is stone-faced. He is a gargoyle.
You're actually serious.
You think I'm gonna fucking hand it over to Howie?
No.
No.
Not if you want this house to still be here in the next couple of years. Shit. Hell yeah. And she like holds her glass up and is gonna be like,
What's Talia
"Fuck
drinking?
yeah." Talia is drinking gin,
Gin.
and it is bad gin. Not the good kind that apparently tastes good or hurts in a good way, but the bad kind that just hurts because it's a sad drink for sad people.
Right.
And she's a sad person, a bad person, and she deserves it.
Cage cheers alongside you. Congrats on your new position.
Congrats on your retirement.
Slugs it back. As
Yeah.
we cut back to the car. Now that gin... Usually Cage gets pretty high tier gin. The gin that does taste good. This was a little subpar. You're feeling it a little bit. Not that hangovers are especially rare for you, but this one is a little bit stronger than ones of recent encounter, let's say. And Talia, what are you getting out of this hunt? Why are you here?
I need some money. I need a lot of money because Talia might be in good with Cage, and she might be inheriting this empire, potentially. But she knows that even if Cage is dead serious, part of that hinges on something that they've already talked about quite a bit. Because before she knew Cage, she already had red in her ledger. And she needs a way to scrub it out. And best bet of doing that is with a whole chunk of cash. So she's here for money.
Who's next?
I could go.
Hey, Shane.
Hi.
You're in the back of the cabin. Go ahead and describe what your character looks like.
I'm in the cabin.
Yeah, you're in the back of the truck with
the truck.
Vesla, Archimedes, and Teddy.
Can I ask what kind of car this is? Is this like an open top Jeep or like a...
Let me drop a picture in the Discord for you.
Thank you.
I described it earlier, but it's half car, half tank, basically, and it's like one of those old buggies. Half buggy on the front. One moment.
Thank you.
So this car not only is designed to like get through some pretty difficult terrain, but it's also designed to carry a lot. You see on the side of these guarded treads, there are bags, there are chests, there are ammunition boxes. So it's not just, you're not just carrying human cargo.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, and the hood ornament is a hunting dog.
Of course. Beautiful. Shane is in the back of the car, one arm hanging out the window, wearing a black, slim-fitted, hooded sweater that he was wearing yesterday, and has kind of like a short, messy cut of hair, sharp, angular features, and a thick, absolutely majestic unibrow. And they are leaned with their head like kind of against the wall of the car, like just enough to feel a little bit of the breeze as it goes by.
You are sitting almost right next to the treads of this tank as you're feeling the wind go past. And not only are you feeling the cool breeze of the forest in this sort of dewy morning, you're also feeling the rough, bumpy texture of those treads underneath you.
Ugh. Yeah.
And you feel it you feel it through your shoes, you feel it through your pants. And it transports you back to last night, where at the bar in the lodge, there is a big, almost like celebratory river dance sort of happening from some people coming in from out of town who are drunk on their ass, and everybody's stomping their feet and clapping along to the music, and they are just overjoyed by the excess in this cabin. What is Shane drinking?
Shane is drinking a whiskey, neat, 2 drops of water, and the glass with just a little bit of clove burnt at the bottom.
And are you trapped in the middle of the commotion, or are you staying pretty close to the actual table of the bar?
Yeah, Shane is leaned up, arms crossed, whiskey glass against the shoulder, watching this, amused.
Easily cutting his way through the crowd is Cage. He does not have to, even though this area is flooded with bodies, he parts them like Moses. He has no problem getting around this place because he owns this place. Everyone knows who Cage is.
When he gets nearer to Shane, Shane sort of tips the glass and says, and points over in the direction of the dancers. Did you have to pay them to do that, or they just do it?
Oh no, that's all free of charge.
I'm not surprised.
No. Cage will take the bar stool next to you and just lean up against the table and just kind of extends his what's the German flask? What's it? I'm forgetting the word for
German
it.
flask?
Like the one that has the lid.
Like a mule?
Yeah.
Tankard?
A tankard.
Yeah, like a tankard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Extends out the tankard as one of the other pack members fills it up with ale again. I'm honestly a little surprised that you took the job.
Well, I missed you, that's all. Can't that be it?
Not even my right hand misses me when they get a vacation.
Seems like a good job. It seems like a challenge, I guess. I don't know. What do you want me to say, Cage? I'm here, aren't I?
Word spreads fast.
Does it?
Cyrus is moving pretty quick.
I'm aware, Cage. It's temporary. It is a temporary situation.
Oh, I'm betting on it. Come on. You think I'm asking you why you took this job because I don't know?
What, do you need me to say it?
No. Of course not.
Then why are you asking?
Isn't that my little game to play?
I told you I missed you.
Yeah.
Tell me something. The camel couch, that's new, right?
Yeah, I got it installed about 3 months ago. Terry's really quick. It was after an expedition in the desert, after someone was asking for some sort of lamp. I don't think it turned out anything.
It's one of your more fucked up pieces, I have to tell you. I love it. I'm a fan. I'm not gonna sit on it, but I do enjoy it.
You know, The last one Hide Stitch made for me before that, I thought was her peak. The mother and child.
You know, I like that one. I think it was quaint. I think you have to keep them together. It's humane, you know?
It's better for them, I think.
Oh.
I
We
could
can't
give
ask
you.
them.
I could give you her number if you're interested.
I don't believe I've ever taken that kind of recommendation from you before, but I am wickedly curious.
I'm just full of surprises, aren't I?
You are.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. If I hear anything else, I'll keep you updated.
Please do. And we can keep it just between us, right?
Not a soul will know besides the two of us. We're pretty good at that, I think.
I hope so.
The cage walks off, back into the party. Back in the car, you feel like that song never fucking stopped. It is drilling through your head with each tread underneath your feet, pumping that tempo back into your brain and all of the lyrics that go with that song. And every rowdy exclamation that came on the offbeat. The
We
worst
there
era.
yet?
You say, are we there yet?
Yeah.
Good. Who's next?
Go. Ah.
Hey, Teddy.
Sure, why not? Hi.
Oh, I forgot. Shane, why are you here?
Shane is here to vindicate themselves. They have unfinished business to settle.
Teddy, would you like to
Yes.
describe your character?
I would like to think that Teddy is sitting in the middle, in the back seat, in between Shane and Vesla. They have long blonde hair that is has streaks of pink in it, of varying shades. It looks like every now and then Teddy dyes shades of pink, and as it fades, they just do different streaks. There's various braids throughout their hair, also little pink beads and gems that decorate the braids. Has front bangs, and also she has little half up pigtails on the top of her head. She's quite she's pale, but she's tanned just from being out in the sun so much. She has a lot of sunspots across her skin that you can see, has freckles. She also has pink eyes, which are quite interesting and different. She's also dressed in kind of like a fluffy white shirt with a pink corset over the top, a pleated pink skirt, knee-high socks. It's a varied of shades of pink, very girly. Has a choker, jewelry, very feminine, very pink. And as she's sitting in the back, she's cleaning her little pistol that she has. She's just cleaning it, taking it apart at an expert speed, kind of just something to fiddle with. And she's humming to herself something along the lines of row, 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 boat.
Teddy, as you're cleaning your pistol and singing yourself a wonderful little nursery rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
You hear in your ear something between a squeak and a drop. As a very familiar yellow and black rodent-like creature pops out of your hair and is incessant with you. We cut to... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say she just kind of, like, absentmindedly, like, gives them a little pet, but continues on with, like, their humming and putting their gun apart and together.
We cut to last night at Cage's place. As Teddy's... How do we put this? Not designed for camouflage. In any environment, really. And especially not at a party. Teddy is at the center of a crowd. But next to Teddy, on a bar stool of his own, is Greenie, your little Foscauda.
Yes.
And you know what he's doing? He's doing the routines. He's doing the tricks. He's doing the flips.
Mm-hmm.
He's being cute. You're earning a
My
little bit
little
of...
rock star.
You're earning a little few little coppers here and there as people are like, oh, that's cute. Very, very, very droll. And after a much more complicated routine from Greenie and the flower on their tail fully blooms afterwards, there's a much greater applause, and Cage steps forward, meaty clap. Great job, Teddy.
Greg, hello!
Glorious. You can just call me Cage. It's all good.
Oh, but it's just like a fun little joke between us, like Greg, because the right, you know. It's funny when I thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you come with me?
Sure.
He leads you over to sort of this main gallery of taxidermies. Every manner of beast is on display. Giraffes, rhinoceroses, crocodiles, kangaroos. Every big, scary, mean-looking motherfucker in the wild lives here forever. Displayed in such a way to make them appear the most mean motherfuckers.
As Teddy is like kind of like looking and kind of just like like just making an expression at everything that they say. She's just kind of like walking with a little hop in her step. Who do you think would be the easiest to kill in that party? I think it's the girl with the Armin.
From the Chilburn unit?
Yeah, like she did that whole little like flirty bump with that person, something or other. Could easily seduce them and then kill them.
Yeah. People of their caliber tend to be easy targets if they're up for a bounty. They can't help themselves. You understand.
Absolutely, I do.
He leads you further down this hall. Lions. Tigers. Bears. Oh my.
Oh my.
But at the end of the hallway, with a big, bright spotlight past the gorillas and the octopi and the caimans and everything else, is a mounted tabby cat. how does Teddy feel seeing the cat?
I mean, it's a cat. It's gaudy. It's just like everything else here.
Cage points to it. Do you know why that one's got the spotlight on it?
Because it's really easy. And probably just really funny to spotlight the like easiest kill in the room.
You'd laugh, but there were easier kills in my time.
Then a cat?
That cat is what gave me this.
I thought... But...
Doesn't matter what size the animal is. Doesn't matter how cute it is. Doesn't matter how nice it plays in the daylight. It can still attack you.
Well, I know a little thing too about that.
When you barged into my house, asking for me, there was a moment of doubt. And then I remembered that cat.
Aww. You know, you could be such a sweetheart. That's the nicest thing I think everyone has ever said to me.
But you know the thing about cats.
They're
They're not-
pussies?
Well, yes. They're not everybody's type.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of more of a dog person myself.
I can tell by your everything.
Thank you.
Just
you have
know,
to stop complimenting me. I think you're gonna like start coming on to me.
just remember, there are gonna be some people tomorrow that aren't cat people.
Oh, that won't matter.
And it won't. Just don't let it get to you.
I don't. As long as it can hurt them a little bit.
Ideally, we're not doing that.
Can I like break a finger or two?
Fingers are pretty important.
A toe. Toes aren't important.
I've had some men break toes, and this slows the pace. It shouldn't be a problem because we're taking the car, but just keep it to a minimum. Okay.
But only because they're paying me so much.
Because I've checked your records, and sometimes you don't play so nice. And if you don't play nice with these guys, I will pay you the same.
Fine.
Good. Well, I gotta get going. I have some more people to talk to, but it was great catching up with you again. And I hope you're as ready for tomorrow as I am.
Oh, I'm so ready.
Cage turns around, and you're left in the middle of this gallery. Greeny's fucking terrified of that cat, even though it's dead. It's been dead for like 30 years.
It's okay, Greenie. It's just fake. And like little like squeaking can be heard in response. Well, yeah, I guess you're right about that. And just continues to have a full-on conversation.
As the squeaking continues in the party, we cut to the squeaking on the car ride. This squeaking is not conversational. It is the equivalent of a child begging for something that's not important. It is unending, it is incessant, and it's rather annoying.
Greenie, if you don't stop, you're not gonna get any bugs.
Greenie will mutter something akin to a whisper and just bury himself back into your braids.
Good boy. Good boy.
Lastly, Vesla. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. Teddy, why are you here?
I want to kill something new and different, because I've just killed so many things. It's getting boring. And the money's cool too.
Vesla.
Yes.
Would you like to describe your character for me?
Yes, so this person looks visibly sick, not because of alcohol, because Teddy is sitting next to them. But you see this person just up against the window, just smashed into the corner, as small as this person can. Sickeningly small, skinny, very sharp, angular features that you can see, with most of the face being clouded by a large cowl. The disdain that you can see on their face is kind of odd, especially since the fact is they always keep a small smirk on their lips, no matter what. But you can still tell they are just disgusted in being here. All their clothes is very neutral, very easily camouflaged, but from wrist to ankles, all the way up to the throat, covered in clothing, only hands and some face to be seen. The only thing that is not in the bleak color scheme is a feather that's hanging off of an earring on their left ear, which strangely matches one of the feathers that is also in Cage's hat.
Vesla, no one here really knows you, but you sure do know a little bit about everybody else. How are you feeling as you're looking around at these other sellswords?
Honestly, looking at each of them, it's come to the point with information for this person that Vesla does not see each person as a person. She's seeing the information that is coming from them and that they know. And we'll just look at each of them and think of something that's just a small tick in their box, in their little thought process of logging information. But most of them, he feels just neutral, nothing, except for Teddy, which there is just a huge dislike already. As the thing in their rat nest hair won't shut up already. No, it's already decided.
As you're doing these analyses of your compatriots' faces, your eyes dart between their faces, almost like scrolling through a book or flipping pages. As suddenly you're scrolling through party members' faces at the lodge last night. There is so much information to be gathered just here in this room that you're in. The fact that there are syndicates from Makili talking to people from all the way over in Saihong. High-ranking officials in Saihong. But you don't say anything. You know better.
Gotta write it down though.
As you go to grab your pen, your nib breaks.
It's in here.
And Cage happens to walk past and pulls out from right behind you on a bookshelf. There is a stuffed octopus. Sort of almost like cast over in a glaze to freeze it as opposed to taxidermy. Each tentacle has a spot for a utensil. He pulls out a quill.
Thank you. And we'll just take it begrudgingly.
Don't you have enough feathers?
My feathers can't write down the information I need.
He kind of leans up against the bookshelf and is kind of looking around, just making sure there's not so many people nearby. How's your own hunt going?
On the prowl. Can't tell you much yet.
It's a shame. That's a shame. But you have plenty more opportunities.
I mean, if you want to know, I'll tell you a little something. And then just kind of, with a flick of the wrist, over to the officials and go, I'm sure they'd love to hear about this back, at home base. I'm sure this will play out very well for my pockets.
It'll rile something up with the Zelsigans, for sure. For sure.
Good.
Have you done any more research on the other people I've hired?
Is there something you need to know?
General notes.
Well, one of them you work with very closely firsthand. Large. Drinks. Like a barrel themselves. Sure you know more than enough about them.
Sure.
Then there's Archimedes. That one is hiding something. I don't know quite what. But as someone who hides behind clothing, there's something to be seen there.
What about the pink one?
Oh God. Honestly, a maniac. Bloodthirsty. Probably good to have on your team, but I am all but excited to be there for it.
And the one with the chain around his neck?
Need to learn more. But I don't think it'll be hard to get information from him.
Lots of people got lots of information in this group.
What you promised, after all.
I'm the best hunter. And the best tracker.
The best toy hunter. Information hunter. That's why we work together.
He smiles in a crocodilian way. Right. You're obviously getting to hunt with you again is a joy. And you do great research. And anything related to the unicorn is going to be of great benefit to everybody. But I'm gonna pay you a little extra if you can help keep everybody in line. We've got a lot of strong personalities in this group, and you've been on expeditions where that doesn't fare so well, right?
You paying me extra to play babysitter?
I'm paying you extra so that we don't die. This is a high risk expedition we're going on. Everything from your research should be telling you that.
Oh, absolutely. However, I will not put them in harm's way. But if something were to happen, as we agreed upon, it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. You're scot-free.
See, there's so much I can't figure out about you. But the one thing I do know, and Vesla's gonna lean in a bit closer, dangerously close to this man's face, and just whisper, I know you hate me as much as I hate you, and this will be so much fun.
He pulls out his tankard. To the hunt.
To the hunt.
Slugs
And
it back.
Vesla is not drinking alcohol.
Not a drop.
Not a drop.
As you walk away, or as Cage walks away, rather, you're staying in your position, and on the opposite side of the wall, as the bookshelf, you see a tapestry. A medieval-looking tapestry, something that looked inherited from centuries past. It is an image of the original unicorn hunt. You see a stark white creature. Something between a horse and a deer. Maybe an antelope? It has a long saber-like horn that outstretches towards the treetops that are swirled into the fibers. Its mane and tail are threaded with gold. And even in the sort of dingy, rustic lighting of the lodge, they glow. Its hooves are stark red. The same red that matches the earth of this landscape, as well as the red of the tree's leaves being in the Bloodwood. Its tail curls back like a hound, and the whiskers at the end of it flow backwards like a flag on display. But you notice the most striking feature of this unicorn is its eyes. You see, it's not like the other beings in this picture. There are dogs chasing after it in the wood as it jumps over brambles and logs and bushes and scares off birds. There's Lord Braconier following behind it on horseback with a page right next to him. already looking a little shabby. All the other creatures' eyes look, for all intents and purposes, natural. The unicorn's eye that you can see in its profile as it looks back towards Braconier and the page and the dogs and the horse is a star. A four-pointed star. And as we cut back to the forest, a glimmer off of one of the dewy leaves from the forest. Not red yet, still very much a rich lime green through the morning dew. Kind of strikes your eye as you're looking out of the cabin and trying to ignore the other people that you ride passenger with. Vesla, why are you here?
Well, a word is, or a picture's worth 1,000 words, and 1,000 words is worth $10,000. Information is money. And I'm here for it.
The treads of the truck continue plowing on. You're feeling it in your feet. You feel the rumbling of the engine up front as Talia is continuing to drive forward into the brush. Not having any problems whatsoever, this vehicle is able to crush any vegetation that would stand in its path. And you look behind you and you see quite a caravan behind you. You see a lot of men on horses, lots of Co-GMed from the pack that often work alongside him that Talia would know. Smith, Wesson, Snipes. You also see an elephant, a large bull elephant with fine tusks, fairly long for its breed, pulling along a carriage, an empty barred cell on wooden wheels that feels like it would fit more in a circus than in a hunt. There are other carriages as well that are not as eloquent. You hear Cage's dogs, all these foxhounds and bloodhounds barking in another cabin not far behind you. Some other horses behind in case things go wrong. But everything seems to be going perfectly fine. And then the car starts to rumble. And we're going to take a break.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I can finally say out of character. Man, I simp for this guy, but fuck him. Jesus.
He's so everyone's characters are so cool.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Go get some water. Go feed yourselves. Go to the bathroom. Do whatever you need. We'll be right back with some more Trophy RPG.
Bye.
See you in a bit.
The car shakes to a grumbling halt, and Talia, you jerk forward in your seat. You can see now, looking out through the window, the Bloodwood has come into view ahead of you. Thick boughs. Thick boughs. Even though there's sunlight overhead, pure shadow, darkness is all that you can see between the tangled brush and branches of this forest. It looks like the road ahead of you is overgrown slightly with thick roots that push up through what should be paved gravel or even dirt, almost like strange waves underneath. Talia, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that this vehicle is a stick shift. So Talia kind of like curses at it kind of like suddenly dropping out from under her, and is going to depress the clutch, push the brake in, like completely reset, turn it off, turn it on again, and try and slowly introduce it back into first gear and see if it'll pick up and start moving again.
All right. I would like for this moment then to be our first risk roll.
Oh Jesus! I'm gonna break the fucking
Now,
car.
as we begin with our first risk roll, I would like for you to, here we go, let's see. I would like for you to say what you hope will happen. And then you're going to ask me and the other players what we think could possibly go wrong.
Okay. What I hope will happen is that as she like moves her foot off the brake and onto the gas, she'll just watch, and as soon as the tachometer hits like 3,000, release the clutch, and the gears will catch, and it'll just smoothly start to roll forward again. That is what I would like to happen.
Mm-hmm. Now,
what is the worst that could possibly happen, everybody?
I don't know enough about cars, so I'm just gonna say if the stick shift just breaks off.
I mean, yeah.
I know that's bad.
pretty great, in my opinion.
Car brakes. Feel like that's
Okay.
probably worst.
Well, then with that, you will take one light die if this task is something your character would be able to do because of one of their skills. Does Talia have a skill that would apply to this situation?
I don't think so.
Okay. If anyone would like to offer Talia a devil's bargain, you can also take a light die. For those of us who are new to Trophy RPG, a devil's bargain is something that a GM or any other player can offer to someone who is making a risk roll. This can include your character causing collateral damage, getting lost or separated from their companions, sacrificing an important item, betraying a companion, or attracting unwanted attention. And no matter what the result of the roll is, the devil's bargain always occurs. You make a deal, you pay the price, and you get the bonus die. But it's always a free choice. You don't have to accept it. You can just reject it or even suggest how you might alter it so you can consider taking it. That being said, you can also add a dark-colored die to this roll if you're willing to risk your character's mind or body in order to succeed.
I'm gonna offer a devil's bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can fake, or depending on how you view your character, just claim that the car is not working and have Cage work on it. To Cage's ire, in exchange for a better view of the surroundings.
Ooh. Love it. I'm gonna say no. Because purely because I don't think that I'm too caught up on wanting this particular story beat of the car definitely working to happen. So,
All right.
in that case, I'm rolling 1 dark, 1 light.
You are rolling. You only roll a dark die if you have, if you're willing to risk your character. But as of right now, you don't have any. You will roll 1 light die.
1 light
I
die.
believe. Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a little roll in our little tabletop that we got back here. I rolled a 2.
Okay. With
What's
a
that
2.
mean?
I got you. With a 2, your character fails and things get worse. And I get to describe how. I could allow you to succeed, but things will get worse in some other way, but I do not think that is what is going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Talia, you jerk that stick shift forward, and there's a awful crunching noise, and you can feel something underneath your hand lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Try and pull it back, doesn't
Shit.
move. Try and push it forward, doesn't move. And then there's a pregnant pause, and and you see just a bit of smoke issue from the front of the car.
Look at Cage. Think something's stuck in the gear shift.
Well,
Get out and fix it.
go.
All right. Okay.
I'm not gonna be here to guide you through everything, huh?
Uh-huh.
I
and
will
they're-
jump at a. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, they're just gonna turn around and look at everybody in the back. Now's as good a time to take a break as any.
Vesla will jump at the chance to get the heck out of this car.
Yeah. And then they pop the door open, and they're gonna, or she's gonna hop out. What are my pronouns? She's gonna hop out. Hands on the hips. Look for a board that she can get on to try and get up under this car and actually, I don't know if no, it'll probably be underneath. She's gonna try and find a board that she can lay down on so she can take a look and see if there's what's up in there, and then if she can't find anything, she's gonna pop the hood and try and get in. See what she
Say
can find.
if you want, Vesla will offer to pop the hood and look inside, as she has knowledge on a little bit of everything. So
You know cars?
I know most things. If I don't know what's wrong with this car, it's probably gone.
Well, all right. Pop the hood and let her take a look.
You'll see Vesla pull back their cowl so there's not a bunch of shadow. And now you actually get to see Vesla's face, which is very sharp and angular, a very square jawline, sharp nose. They have this very short, kind of shaggy, layered hair with bangs, but in the back you see now there is a slick ponytail, almost kind of like a rat tail, that's pretty long and a good size, but the top of the hair is just shaggy. They wear these very thin rimmed square glasses, and their eyes, they just look dead. It looks like this person died this morning. Just this reflection of just light reflecting the pupils, cloudy. And I would like to take a look and try to figure out what's going on with this car.
You look inside of the engine, and you don't see anything wrong with the engine itself. But what you can deduce from the sequence of events that you overheard and saw through the small window in the front of the vehicle is that this probably isn't an engine problem. This is probably an issue with the axles underneath.
Yikes. I'm under the car. Can I?
Yeah,
See anything about
you
that?
you see that the where all of the sort of skeletal structure of the car is, where the rods connect and like allow the driver to take control of the car. All of the joints of this machine have been, at least at the bottom, have been clogged by kudzu, this vine that just
Hateful.
has entangled a little bit of the machinery and seems to have gotten into some of the actual and sort of stiffened up, almost like this car has arthritis.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's a lot, and it's not great. It'll take a while.
There's just like a reverberant fuck from below the car, and then Vesla, or not Vesla, Jesus, who am I? Talia will, having failed to find a board, will simply worm her way back out from under the car and get up, back now covered in dirt. Yeah, it's not it is a car problem, but it's vines, weeds, there's all kinds of shit in there. It's totally gummed up everything. This thing isn't moving, at least for a little while.
What the fuck? I told the boys to clean it out last night. Wesson, hey! And Cage is gonna storm off. He's gonna knock on the back of the cabin. Everybody out, we're gonna be taking a little break. Set up camp if you want. I don't know if we're gonna keep moving after this.
Vesla will look at Talia and just pull the cowl back over and go, "It's obvious the forest doesn't want us to go in there. Simple as that."
I wouldn't want us to go in there either.
Yeah,
If it
here
was
we are.
the forest.
If you were the forest. That's a cute thought. And they'll just go ahead and kind of just walk away.
Strange folks.
Cage storms off, berates one of his men, and what does everybody else do as the expedition seems to have been paused at this point?
Yeah, while this whole thing is happening, I'd like to get out. Shane walks around to one side of the car and leans up against it, like 1 foot, like leg up, bent against the car, and is hopefully somewhere near Archimedes. And it's like, you don't also know a little bit about everything, do you?
Oops, I was muted.
I was like, this is a thoughtful man.
Well, he does take some time to
Yeah.
just like look them over. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What?
No, that's perfect. Good. You don't know how to fix a car, do you?
Unfortunately, no. It's not my skill
That's-
set. You know how to fix a car.
No. It's dirty. It's work.
Not the working type.
Not that kind, I guess.
Neither am I. In that sense, at least.
We're probably better on foot. Anyway. The car is a bit of a farce.
Oh, loud and proud is Cage's way, so.
That's true.
Makes you wonder how he caught anything he has ever caught. How boisterous he is.
It's... Have you seen it? It's something.
I've seen a lot of Cage's creativity firsthand.
Mm.
None of it pretty.
No, it's not pretty. It's not quiet. It's not pretty.
No, not in the slightest.
Well, maybe we should get everyone to start moving and give up on this car.
At the very least, we should set up camp.
I suppose.
It'll help everyone stretch their legs.
Whatever you say. And Shane's gonna kick off the side of the car and walk off.
And as you walk off, you see like him like pull like a vial of something out, and just like pop the cork open, and just like, and then close it, and then put it back in his jacket.
Did we all meet each other already?
That's up to you.
I've met all of you.
All right.
Maybe you
Okay.
don't
Yeah,
know
we
it.
get it.
All right, you're the sneaky
You
one.
know everything.
You're the
Oh my
sneaky person.
God.
Vesla fucking knows all of our social security numbers. We get it. No,
Yeah.
no, but like, maybe it would be better to have it so that we didn't really get a chance to talk. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I'm good with that. I mean,
Or do you think it was kind of
Yeah,
a like,
I'm-
hey, this is my name, shake hands. This is my
I feel
name.
like we all know each other's names, but we've kept like pretty silent aside from that.
Yeah, I like that.
That sounds
I think
fun.
this is a good time to get to know each other.
It's a great time.
wink, wink, huh?
Ha.
Yeah.
I know for a fact Archimedes does not talk to anybody, so.
Strong silent type. All right. Well, Talia's gonna pop all the doors open in the cabin because there's probably not that great air conditioning in here, and it fucking smells like cigar smoke because Cage smokes like a chimney. So she's just gonna pull all the doors open and just like let a little cross breeze cut through there, and let anybody else out if people are still in the car. Unsure.
You will note that Archimedes does smell like weirdly like chamomile or mint. So it's still covered with cigar smoke, but it's just a hint of that as well as he gets up.
Hetty will also get out.
Yeah.
Have we traveled very far into the forest? Like, how long have we been traveling?
By the time that the car breaks down, you've actually been on the road for a good amount of the day. It's maybe like 4 p.m., so it's late mid-afternoon.
Could I then perhaps cast a ritual?
Sure.
Ooh.
Let me pull up some ritual rules real quick just to refresh myself and everybody at home.
Yeah. Ritual.
Where are the ritual rules?
Yeah, it's not in info. I'm gonna pull it up in the whatchamacallit.
So, it does say under risk, because it's a risk roll, I think, period. You take one light colored die if a task is something your character would be able to do because of one of their skills.
Yes.
Take another one if you accept a devil's bargain. Add a dark colored die if you're willing to risk your character's mind or body in order to succeed. And you have to include this die whenever your character performs a ritual.
Yes.
So I think that if you have a skill that applies, then you can roll a light and a dark die. But if you don't, then you just roll the dark die.
Yes. So, it would be for you. This isn't related to. Tell me what ritual you're casting.
I'm casting Gardener. I'm consuming a plant to absorb its memories.
Okay.
Whoa. That's a trip and a half.
You'll be adding a dark color die because you're performing a ritual. Is this related to any of your skills as an assassin?
Hang on. I mean, unless like vigilance is like considered.
No.
I'm not sure if that would count. But then no.
Would anyone like to offer a devil's bargain?
Dylan? Or you're just saying no? Devil's bargain is a complication that happens.
Yes, and it happens regardless of what the outcome of the die roll is.
Interesting. I wonder if consuming any of these plants would be like hurtful to your system or bad for you, especially considering that we're getting closer to the Bloodwood and this forest is like actively trying to stop us from getting in there. So perhaps, not sure how we'd implement this mechanically, but maybe it makes you a little bit sick or a little bit slow on the draw, something like that.
And what would they get in exchange for that?
Well, if they succeed, then they would get information, right?
What would they get for getting the illness or rash or whatever might happen?
You have to make the devil's bargain just to be able to get a dark dice. So you can't even roll the dice if you don't take some kind of bargain.
Death is performing a ritual, so it's a dark die out of the gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have to accept a devil's bargain.
So in order to take if you take a devil's bargain, you get a light dice. Otherwise, you won't have any light dice. You only get to roll that dark dice for the ritual.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that then.
Go ahead.
All right. I'll roll nothing.
Yeah. Do they show up to everybody else?
Yes.
Oh.
All right. It's a 2 on the light and a 6 on the dark.
Wow.
Alrighty.
So your character did succeed. However, your highest die was your dark die, and it is higher than your current ruin of 4.
Yes.
Meaning you now have 5 ruin.
Bruh.
Meaning you get a condition.
Oh boy.
I feel like Vesla was over here going, "That's poisonous. Don't eat it." Stop him.
Alex, would you like to do the honors?
I would love to do the honors. All right. Teddy. Would you finish describing for me how you perform this ritual, and then I will tell you what condition I'm offering you.
I guess Teddy kind of, without a word, calmly walks, gets out of the car and kind of walks a little bit into the shrubbery. They kind of have a different demeanor this time. Their entire demeanor since meeting everyone and like interacting with everyone, it's very childlike, it's very like fidgety, very jovial. But as they're kind of like walking into the shrub, it's very calm, it's very relaxed. And they kind of, they let Greenie off their shoulder. And they kind of jump around a little bit before kind of jumping on this branch, which they decide to take a leaf from. And they kind of just do a little like cheers motion to Greenie and then just eat that shit.
All right. You swallow, and you start to feel a tickle in your throat. And then a sort of cough. A cough that turns from trying to clear it to hacking. And if you're okay with this condition, Teddy, you begin to cough up leaves spewing out of your mouth. your tongue turning a sickly green color. As vines, for just a moment, start to grow from your throat. You're able to spit some of them out, but from now on, anytime you perform an act that is more than mildly extraneous, no. Anytime you perform an action that might tire your character out more than just a little bit, you start to cough up leaves.
Dog. Yeah, does Teddy get any memories from this, or is this just a failed ritual?
You did succeed.
You did succeed. Which means that you describe how you succeed.
I describe how I succeed?
You got a
Okay.
6. You get to pick how you succeed.
So, I think as a few moments before the hacking starts, they're eating the leaves and they kind of completely relax down onto their knees, and their eyes are closed and they start seeing like rapid eye movement as their eyes just rapidly like move back and forth as they kind of get flashes and senses and kind of motions of the plant, kind of tread marks of any creatures that may have trembled on it, other animals that have eaten this plant. And then as they kind of open their eyes, they begin to cough and coughing out leaves.
How are other people reacting to this?
I was just about to ask if we noticed this. Thank you.
She did walk away into the shrubbery, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, not far though, like probably like just where there's like
So we'd be able to hear you hacking up a lung.
Shane will walk over to her while she's on her knees coughing, and kind of just like lightly like kick at the side of you with a boot, just like you all right?
Yeah. And just like coughs up like just more leaves.
Oh, and like gives you like a fingertip pat on the back. You're okay. Just get it up, I guess. Cage.
Cage has been busy berating this other crew member this whole time and didn't hear anything. And then hears Shane calling out and says, "What?"
This child you brought is dying.
What?
I don't know.
We'll storm over.
God.
The hell is going on here, huh?
And just, you
I'll run
know,
over too.
the usual.
Where the hell is Vesla?
Behind a tree appears from the shadows. I'm just standing there, just going. I thought you hired competent people. Shouldn't they know that's poisonous?
Oh, I'm fine with poison mostly. Greenie's pretty poison. I was just looking for dangerous animals.
That's
There's
a
none.
plant.
There's none.
Sweetie, that's a plant. That's not an animal.
Oh, see, I can do this really cool thing.
Oh, that is very cool. Good job.
All right. I've had enough of this. All right.
An endless rope out of their.
Listen. It's magic. Sometimes it has its drawbacks. I was searching for animals, and nothing really knows more about hunters and predators than the flora. Sometimes the magic doesn't like it when you use it, so this happens.
All right. Well, I've had enough shenanigans for tonight. We're gonna just camp here, even if the car gets fixed up. All right. I'll have.
It's safe.
We're right outside of the Bloodwood. We'll keep moving forward tomorrow. But, Talia, any luck with the car? Any luck with the car?
What? No, it's still clogged up to shit. Everything's fucked.
I'll get the boys on it. You guys help out with setting up camp. Snipes can show you around the elephant if you want. And Cage delegates you all to different tasks, setting up for the night.
Hell yeah.
Y'all are setting up firewood, tents. Elephant's helping out with the heavier cargo, moving it around. You tie up the horses, let the dogs out, take care of them, feed them.
I have a question.
What's up?
Who is
the
the
other
one
one?
that lets the dogs out?
God damn
Isn't
it.
that the eternal question?
It is the eternal question. I cannot believe it's still relevant to make that joke.
I'm done.
I made it a month ago, but yeah.
I think that this is the last generation where
can
it's
make
still relevant.
We can make a Baha Men reference.
Yeah.
Fucking topical Bahamut. Right out the back pocket. Right here.
This is a horror campaign, but you let the dogs out.
I also have
know.
a question that is not about the Baha Men.
Great. Love those.
Can Shane try to delegate his tasks that he was given to Smith or Wesson? I'm partial to Wesson.
Make me a risk roll.
Thank you.
What's the best thing you want to have happen?
I want to just charmingly complain to Wesson about how tired my arms are, and hope that they take pity on me and do my work for me. What's the worst thing that can happen?
I feel like the worst outcome isn't actually that they don't help you, but that they get too charmed, and then you're kind of in trouble.
Ooh.
Because they just will not leave you alone.
Oh my god. Okay.
Christian?
I was gonna say you could double the work, but I like that one better.
Got any skills related to this?
Deception.
I'll take it.
Okay. Thank you. So that's just one light.
That'll
Light
be
die.
Just one light die.
2 light die.
Two light
Or
die.
2 light die,
You took
yes.
Devil's Bargain
One for the
and
roll.
relevant skill.
Okay.
It's not a devil's bargain, I don't think, right?
No, no devil's bargain. I just
Oh, no Devil's Bargain.
No.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah.
So, just the
So-
one light die.
just the one.
It's just one light
Yeah.
die. So if you try and do something and you don't have any skills or take a devil's bargain or risk your mind or body, you auto fail.
Okay. Actually, I'll use the thing just because everyone else isn't.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's a fun little thing.
A 6.
Whoa!
Fantastic.
Big money.
You stride up to Weston, and Weston's a little on the younger side. He's a little bit more pliable than his brother Smith. You go up, and do you want to describe how exactly you're courting him?
Yeah, I just kind of fling my arm around him, lean. Ugh. Last night was a lot for me. I just don't know that I'm the best person for this, you know?
What do you need help with over there, huh?
Well, Cage wants me to put this tent up and
Oh, you can pitch a tent real easy. I'll show you real quick. It's no big problem.
would you show me? I'm just, I'm new to this sort of thing. It's
Oh,
not really my
don't you
forte.
worry your little head about nothing. All right, I'll show you real quick. All you gotta do is put the pitting in the ground, and then he'll show you the whole thing. Does it in
Remarkable.
like 2 minutes.
A little just remarkable. You're just a fascinating creature. Thank you.
Oh, golly, I don't know about that.
Run along now.
And it'll set up the rest too. You got a 6, so.
Dang. Heck yeah.
And Shane walks into the first tent, lays down, and relaxes.
Archimedes. Cage's dogs have been let loose.
Ooh.
And you hate these fucking things. Not because they're bad the way Cage is bad, but because they know just by your scent.
Archimedes is trying to ignore them, but there's only so much ignoring one can do before it gets too much. As he is are they all like grouped up like a pack and just barking at him?
They're all on leashes. Who's taking care of the dogs?
I can take care of the dogs. Or you can do it if you want to.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, Teddy.
Yes, Teddy, let the dogs out. Okay.
After Teddy finishes hacking up leaves, they're just like, okay, I need some dog time.
I need some dog time.
These dogs love you. They are just like putty in your arms. And Greenie's not so big a fan. Greenie's actually very fascinated by your mouth right now, so he's a little bit of a nuisance, but you've got all these dogs on the leash. You're taking them out for a walk and feeding them and making sure they go to the bathroom and stuff. And you notice that one of the bloodhounds that you've got in your grasp stops and kind of halts the rest of the dogs too, as he just sniffs and towards Archimedes.
You a cat person?
That was so good.
That's good. I don't particularly like animals.
Ah, okay. Because the dogs. But, could be anything.
It's fine.
I didn't apologize, but. Alright, bye.
He just tries to zone out for his own benefit.
Talia's gonna come up behind you and give you a firm slap on the shoulder. Archimedes! We didn't really get to say hi this morning. How you doing? Sarah's up in the front, driving.
I know where you were, Talia.
How are you? Looking firm.
Firm.
Yeah. Well, you're big, strong.
I'm fine, Talia. What happened with the car?
I didn't drive it through any weeds, but someone probably drove it through the weeds. I'm betting it was the twins last night, because I know they like to get a little handsy with the keys and pretty much any vehicle they can get their greasy little fingers on. So then they took it for a joyride, maybe ran through a couple bushes. There's vines all up in there. The axles are totally choked, but we're working on getting it out, so...
You sure it's not the forest trying to stop us?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Vesla said the same thing. You two know each other?
No, but I do my research.
What do you mean?
You think I'm just gonna go to the mysterious forest without knowing anything about it?
No, that sounds like a terrible idea. What kind of research were you doing?
Just how to survive a dangerous forest, but leaves not to pick or eat.
I did hear about that. Crazy. She didn't really strike me as like a vegan.
She smells like blood. Lots of it.
She does?
It's a particular kind of iron.
Oh. Suppose I haven't gotten close enough to take a good sniff.
Don't go sniffing people.
Well, I'm not gonna go sniffing people. I'm just, you know, like casually. Low key. You got a better nose than I do anyway. You smell like chamomile. Is that an aftershave? I mean, I guess probably not, because...
I'm sorry.
Y'all are the fucking best.
Herbo! Herbo!
He does. You actually do hear like a chuckle from that. Them asking about chamomile. He goes, "Sure, why not?"
Well, smells nice.
Before
Better than the last time we met.
That's why I put it into consideration.
Good choice. Strong choice.
Stronger the better. For everybody.
I got a cousin who makes soaps. I should put you in touch.
Sure.
They make good shit.
I'll take your word for it.
Need any help or anything? Can I get you something? I mean, you look kind of tired.
I'm fine, but thank you for the assist. Or the assistance I request.
Yeah, for sure. And let me know if the dogs are getting after you too much. It's wild. I don't see them treat anyone else like that. Bad luck. And she pats him on the shoulder twice and is gonna walk off to go set up her own tent, because I have my own little 2-person tent in my backpack.
Hell yeah.
Can I... I'm not sure if I can do this, but using transformation, just like as Talia's walking away, Archimedes just looks at all the barking dogs, and then can I use like transformation to like just transform his eyes into a beast size, and then like growl.
Alex, I think, wants to say something. Hold
To
on.
intimidate them.
If you just want to straight up use that ritual, we could call this just a ruin roll.
Well, it's not a ritual. It's a skill.
Not a ritual.
Oh, yes, right. Your transformation skill specifically. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a light die, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool. I'll do that then. 4.
So, that's a success with a complication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Describe to me... Oh, go ahead. Okay. Describe to me how you transform to get the dogs off your back.
I think it's just trying to get that aura of you want to see an alpha or pack leader. I'll show you one kind of air.
Mm-hmm.
As he growls, like the hair kind of gets like bushier on his face, like a little longer. His eyes turn to like a golden to a golden black with slits, or wolf-like, I should say. And he's just staring down this pack of dogs, like, you will respect me or not exist.
You growl back at that bloodhound that was trying to sniff you out earlier, and your show of power is enough to drive him off and scamper back to Teddy with the rest of the hounds. And there's a lingering sort of feeling even after the dog is left. There's still that sort of residual rage, that impulse to sort of be in control and be the upper hand, be the leader. And you feel your eyes haven't shifted back.
And he just, like, tries his best. He pulls out another vial from another pocket, and he pops it, and it smells like white sage. And he's just trying to sniff it, and, like, trying to take deep, slow breaths, just trying to calm the beast down. It's just, and, like, every time it's like a breath out, it's like, just trying his best to, like, regain control.
Awesome.
It's for me.
Everybody finishes up with setting up camp. You've got a good, healthy fire going. Everybody's sitting around. Plenty of rations to go around. Cage, again, is not one to spare any expense. He's got decent money for y'all. Or decent food for y'all, I should say. No sardines in tins or anything like that. And you guys are all eating around the campfire. He's cooking up something. And you guys share dinner. How's everybody eating? Are we all sitting around this fire? People just grabbing food and walking off to their tents? Are they... What's everybody doing in the latter half of the evening?
I'm all about that eating around the fire nonsense. I love that. Talia will sit down, slap a hand on her knee as she, like, tucks in to dinner. And if anybody tries to walk away, we'll waylay them for just a moment, and try to draw them back in to, like, come sit down.
Yeah,
Yeah, Teddy's sitting down at the fire.
Vesla does not want to.
Come on! It's the first night.
Exactly. I have to deal with you all for so many nights. Can I just have one?
It's only gonna be less pleasant from here on out. The smell's not gonna get better.
It's gonna look to Archimedes. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Fine. And we'll sit on the edge of the furthest log possible. Like.
That's funny enough. That's where Archimedes is probably.
We're on the opposite sides of the camp.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Shane?
Shane comes out and grabs what I imagine is a whole turkey leg off of a off of a stump, takes a chew of it, and says, "Well, all right. We've got the fire, we've got the food, we've got the people.
Got the booze.
Anybody have a story?"
Are we about to tell ghost stories?
I didn't specify.
The other ones are so much more boring.
Are you a storyteller?
Me? No. I'm hungry.
What do you do then?
Do you want the full list?
You said tell a story. Sounds like a story.
I eat, I drink, I fuck. What do you do?
I'm a lot more useful than that.
And he's got a sense of humor. Wouldn't have thought it under all that. And she just like is just like ribbing. You can tell she does not mean anything by it, but like mimics your.
That's pretty good, actually.
Is that? I mean, I guess humor is a part of knowing.
Sure.
Not my strong suit, but
You sound confident.
I am.
If you can't understand a joke, I don't know how you're really absorbing anything. Isn't this all hilarious?
The fact that we might die, or the fact that people have never come back.
Do I have to pick one? Both of those things. They're hilarious, deeply troubling, and funny. We're about to go into these woods. Clearly ill-equipped.
Speak for yourselves. I'm very well equipped.
You are.
I have every faith in you, darling. Absolutely.
Thank
At you're gonna be just fine.
You've got what we
Oh.
need. I don't believe Cage would hire amateurs for this.
Well, he once did that as a prank. It was not pretty.
You know him
So-
well?
I certainly wouldn't. You know what? I'm gonna let Cage answer that. Cage.
Cage,
Answering that question.
Cage has been over with the other pack members who have been taking care of the elephant, just feeding it some more food, some big old hay bales they brought with them. And Cage walks away from them and is running his hand on the side of the pachyderm's like skin as he just like swipes it off and is like, "Are y'all enjoying dinner, huh? It's pretty good, yeah. I hope it didn't stale or anything like that."
No, it's
A lot
great.
better than leaves.
I would hope so too.
Hmm.
Now,
You were
what was
just
that?
asking Shane how well he knew you.
Oh, yeah, Shane and I. Listen, Shane, I met, I want to say, 7 years ago, sometime like that. A decent amount.
Long time.
This is back when they were working with another coalition, let's say, and provided me a little bit of insider information in exchange for some product, and you know, eventually got them around to being a pack member every now and again. So
Thank you.
Well, and diplomatically said, my
For the
friend.
raid. I just saw it. Sorry. 7 years is a pretty long time.
Yeah.
I've known you for what, 15? Like since you were fucking 3 foot nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. But still. 7, 15. Once you get past 5, I feel like it all kinds
It's
of runs
real.
together.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was looking for a story.
Well, don't ask Cage for
Ooh.
one. We'll be here for
I've
the rest
got
of the
a
day.
great one.
No, Cage's story.
I do not want to hear that again.
Cage sits down on the log and is like,
Fuck.
I
Damn it,
was
Shane."
traveling up the Monvuli.
Oh no.
And he goes on a long ass tirade about his an old expedition with his mentor Bellshot, and just describes these hippos with gigantic fucking mouths that'd eat a man whole and teeth like daggers like you've never seen. And he
I'd like,
Yeah.
if it's okay with you, and if it's okay with Sloan, I would like for Talia and Shane to every once in a while, like, say lines that
Yeah.
we know you're gonna
Yeah.
say, like
Yeah.
exactly as it's like, and teeth like you've never seen. Like, yeah.
Skull got crushed like a watermelon. Yep, got it.
And that's how I got my record player.
Definitely during that story, Vesla's gonna look at Archimedes, who is on the opposite side, the corner of the camp, and just kind of like dart their eyes away from the camp and kind of just go and start to move away slowly from the story.
I'll allow it.
Oh, thank you.
Christian, you
muted, Milo.
muted. I'm so sorry, bud.
Ah! Archimedes has been quiet this entire time. He sat down specifically because he didn't want Talia to say anything to him, or begrudgingly make him come over. So like he's been compliant, but like, as soon as he gets an out, he fucking takes that shit, and like he just like gets up, and without saying a word, he just gets up and then walks in the direction that Vesla is.
Vesla just goes to this like area where you can see into the forest that's ahead, but not quite tiptoeing into it yet. And then just sits down and like against a tree and pulls back the cowl and just goes, I figured you wouldn't tattle on me. Also, I figured you were having less fun than I was. There you go.
Thank you for giving me an out.
And in exchange, I think you could do something for me too.
Everything's got a price.
Not gonna cost you money. More so, I'm just curious.
About
What does a man have to hide wearing clothes that are 2 times the size of him?
circumstance.
Circumstance is always a fair, but such a disappointing answer. You sure you couldn't give me a real story?
I'm not one for telling stories.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've got several.
Eye for an eye? Eh, Archimedes?
You first.
What do you want to know? I told you what I wanted to know.
I'm here. And he like pauses. And it's like he wants to go into his jacket, but he's not going to. He's like, you can see his fingers fidgeting. I'm hearing, hoping a fairy tale isn't a fairy tale. I'm hoping something from this unicorn will make it so I don't ever have to do something like this again. Wear clothes like this again.
You see Vesla's smirk twinge into a smile. I see. And what? Do you want me to read off stories that prove this isn't a fairy tale?
Tell me about yourself.
And they'll just go ahead, lift up their hand, turn it around. You see their hand where normal ridging fingerprints would be is chemically burnt just down. There's nothing other than just burnt reddish skin. You don't see a single fingerprint, no lines of any sort. Just normal bending wrinkles. Is that enough?
I thought I smelled acetone on your hand. Or and like as like he shifts and like his eye, like he shifts his head as he's looking at the chemical burn. You see that his eyes are not the same as they were when they first got in the car. And then he shifts back.
Is that why you cover yourself with chamomile and other spices?
It's to keep everyone safe. Keep myself calm.
That won't keep us safe out there. If you smell like something that doesn't belong in the forest, you're going to draw something closer. Something much more dangerous. Far more dangerous than you think you might be. You may need to learn some self-restraint.
I've been having to deal with self-restraint for a very, very long time. And for your benefit, my benefit, the benefit of everyone in this camp, the more I smell like this, the better off you'll be.
You don't scare me, big man. And you'll see them just pull out their notebook and pull out their quill and just write something down. And then if you look over the shoulder, it says Archimedes, and then it says friend or foe. There's just a dash on the page and it closes. I hope one of those is more true than the other.
I hope so as well.
No, prefer to be alone. And I know you do as well, so I won't take up much more of your time, but now that I know something dark is behind your eyes, just like something dark is behind mine, you may turn to me.
Cool. Glad that went over well. The night winds down. Everybody starts packing up for bed. Everybody gets on their sleeping clothes. Everybody makes sure that all the other animals are taken care of, locked up the dogs, horses are tied up, elephants not going anywhere on a chain. Everybody's going to bed. Alex, I'm going to hand over the reins to you.
Yes. As the night winds down, I light the campfire, dulling. Hot red embers turning into smoky coals. The noise of a forest at night is never quiet. There's always rustling, branches blowing in the wind, maybe a far-off hoot or howl. But especially here at the edge of the Bloodwood, there is no peace for each of you as you try and make your way into sleep. Certainly there's the occasional noise of the hunting dogs or the elephant shifting, or maybe some uncomfortable snores from the rest of Cage's pack. But as each of you are lying there, with the night sky overhead, inky and black, you begin to hear, off in the distance, a sound like a low moan. A thick, low, haunting noise. Hard to tell at first if it's a noise of pleasure or pain, almost like a song as it grows in pitch and volume, undulating through the wood. Chokes off occasionally, and then it hiccups back into existence. Just enough to let you think maybe you can get finally some sleep, a minute or two of peace, and then it's back. After 20-30 minutes of this, echoing over the noise, you begin to hear crunching sounds. At first, maybe could be leaves, could be branches breaking, a fox passing by, but then they grow louder, almost rhythmic, like a song played over this moan. And then deep in the darkness of the wood, lights, far and distant, of a deep red pitch. If this keeps up, none of you are going to get any sleep.
I'll roll out of bed.
Is anyone else joining her?
I'm clearly not getting any sleep, so yes.
Yeah.
All right. Then,
Yeah. Sorry. I'll join in as well.
okay.
You hear Talia's the canvas of her tent kind of slap against itself as she like throws the flap open. Fuck, shit, fuck. Damn it.
Okay. Then I'm going to need a risk roll from one of you. But I will say, in this case, because there are two others, you are welcome to help out whoever is going to take the brunt of this risk roll. A help roll can only be made if another player is making a risk roll that includes at least one dark die. And I'm definitely going to say that whoever is making this risk roll is exposing themselves to harm to their mind or their body. So whoever's making this risk roll will make it with at least one dark die. If you're offering help, then you say how you expose yourself to danger as you help them, and you roll one light die that they can include in their success. So who wants to make this overall roll? And are the other two helping?
What do you think, Sloan?
I have as a sellsword, I do have the skilled defense. I think that I could either use defense to make the main roll, as in like defending the camp, or I can use defense to shadow whoever's going out to take a look around and be on their 6. Make sure nothing comes at them from behind.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I also have vigilance, so I can help out in that aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can we add more than one help die, or is it just one person can help?
Each time one person helps, that one person gets to roll a light die and add it to the overall pool. However, whoever is helping out also is exposing themselves to more risk. So if your light die matches any of the dark dice in the roll, you mark a ruin.
Oh. Helper does, or the person who's...
Helper
does, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm out. I can't.
Yeah.
I would.
For vomiting
So
wounds.
then, if you're offering, you said you're offering to help, like watch.
I can do either.
You can do either.
Yeah.
I
think
I want Shane to use deduction to try to understand what can be done to distract this thing while while Talia does what she needs to do.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
That's how I would like to help.
Does Shane have experience with something of this nature in the past that means you think they would have a deduction to what these noises could be coming from?
I think they've spent time in these woods before.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So
So
then,
would you be making the main
Shane.
skill roll?
I'm offering to help
Okay.
Talia.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then, Talia, what do you hope will happen here?
So in the spirit of defense, Talia is just kind of assuming they're in a dangerous place. She's just kind of assuming that whatever this is, likely dangerous, and is certainly harassing their camp just by getting close to it, getting closer, whatever it's doing. And so in the spirit of that, I think that what she wants to do is run a perimeter and see if she can ward it away somehow, or push out into the forest where she can see, because you said there was some sort of visual cue as to where it was. See if she can see where it is, and then push out and get it to go away.
All right. And does anyone have some suggestions for what the worst thing that could happen here would be?
Mauled by a bear seems bad. I don't know.
Mauled by a bear.
I will put forth something. Worst thing that happens is that you're seen by something in the woods.
You draw attention.
The thing that's in the woods gets a jump on you.
I would also like to offer you a devil's bargain here. Because there's a very strong chance that Talia and Shane could get separated from their companions here, but ward away or protect them. So I'm gonna say that one of you will get separated from the other in this particular instance if you want an additional light die.
And the light die will go to Talia because I'm just offering to help, right? Okay. So I'll let you. Yeah.
I feel pretty confident, so no.
Okay. So then, in that case, Talia, you will be rolling one light die because you're using a skill, and rolling one dark die because you're exposing yourself to danger just in the course of this roll. And then, Shane, you are going to roll one light die. That all sound good?
Yeah. All right. I'll roll first. I got a 6 on the light and a 1 on the dark.
You don't get any
You
ruin.
get a
Hell
light
yeah.
die.
No ruin.
Nice.
And Shane, you didn't get a 1 on your light die, right?
I got a 6.
Oh, fabulous.
Hell yeah, dude.
Look at us.
Fuck yeah.
What's your second six?
We're
Jesus.
fucking fine at this. I don't even know why everybody's worried.
I don't even know I was worried. It's fine.
So pretty decent roll. So then, as the two of you step out, just right up to the edge of the woods, you can see in the distance that red light. You can hear these noises, but this is your success. So, as part of this roll, you are warding off and protecting the camp, discovering some of what is making these noises, perhaps, and determining that they are not causing any active danger. So, how did the two of you succeed at this together?
Do you have any thoughts?
I do. You said you wanted to set up a perimeter.
She's
Or of some kind?
scanning and then pushing out towards them to run interference and try and push them back somehow.
Okay.
Probably going based off of your influence, because one of her thoughts would be make loud noises or something like that. if
Yeah.
if they've got a suggestion.
Yeah, Shane kind of listens for a few moments to the sounds it's making. Reaches like down into the dirt and picks up the bare scraps of the turkey leg bone that he was chomping on earlier and gives it like a solid chuck out into the woods to hear the reaction and where it moves to, and nudges at Talia to like where it's heading so that we can kind of map around it.
And with that, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with that direction, she's going to continue pressing forward, and she's got a sword with her, obviously. I believe that what she's going to do is she just like draws it out just a little bit and will begin to like rattle it against its sheath, to make a sound almost like bones clicking together, something of that nature, and we'll just start like hissing and like making just batshit noises, to be the scarier thing in the forest.
Alex, are you good with me taking over?
Take it back.
Hell yeah. You throw your turkey leg into the brush, lands with a hits against the canopy floor. That's not the canopy, that's the floor. Don't mind me. Talia, you're rattling your cutlass in its sheath, right? And you see these two lights move very slowly away, and not in sync. They seem to go wayward directions. And as you two are attempting a scare of this thing, whatever it may be, maybe these things plural, these red lights will slowly rescind back into the forest, sort of almost swimmingly through the branches of the low-hanging trees, and will just fade away. It's too foggy, even this close to the edge of the Bloodwood, to really get a good look, but you could definitely see those two bright red, like a lighthouse in the middle of this wood.
I could have sworn those were eyes. They were right next to each other, like they were right there.
But
then they were. And I thought it was a lazy eye, but creepy.
I'm curious, but that's not worth it.
I mean, if we can walk further if you want. I've got my sword with me.
I don't think that's enough. We should probably go back, but have you used that sword to kill anything that looked like that before?
It's like a light. I took it out at a party once, and I did break a couple of things, but I've killed a lot of. I mean, like, you know, I quite a bit. You know how sometimes when it's dark outside, there are some animals and their eyes reflect back at you? I've seen things like that, but different. I've seen things like that before, and I've killed them too.
Anything that looked like this?
Not this specifically, no. But I feel like there's something new every time I go out on one of these.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I haven't seen anything like that before.
Oh,
I
scared?
tend... Not exactly. I want it. But not as much as I want to live long enough to get that unicorn. So... I'm restraining myself.
maybe it'll come back. You have your chance.
Thanks.
Yeah. Until then, if you are scared, you can hold on to Wingman. And she's gonna, like, extend her arm, and from the sleeve of her pajama shirt that she's wearing, a ferret scrambles out onto her arm and, like, just, like, is on her hand and looks at you with its, like, blindfold face, and its whiskers twitch in the darkness.
Hi.
He likes to cuddle.
Shane will, like, reach out and, like, connect fingertips with you.
He'll scuttle
Just to-
across.
Yeah. And you don't. You just cuddle with it.
Yeah. He looks up at you and he just, like, big, like, not big, but, like, dark beady eyes, whiskers twitching, kind of, like, bends down and sniffs, and it, like, tickles your arm hair.
You've known Cage 15 years, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
He has never tried to kill this.
I mean, he tried once.
All right. It's kind of cute.
Well, this conversation got boring. Good night.
Oh my god.
Know the entire
Anyone with no help did not make the help roll. That's just been
No, just got up and was like,
got out, watched you two walk off, then you came back and Daddy's just been standing there.
just like, okay, good night.
Incredible.
Alright, well, thanks
Well-
for stopping the loud thing.
When you turn back around, all three of you,
Probably as soon as Shane is ready to. Talia would wait for them to.
sure, to come
good to
back to the
go.
camp.
Yeah.
Sure. The three of you turn back around from just beyond the woods, facing back to the camp. And it's actually fairly early in the morning. You can just barely see twilight coming up from beyond the horizon.
Good.
And you notice something. The car is skewered. From the base of the ground where the car was at, a thick, knotted tree has impaled this car and has branched out in two directions. One branch seems to be going through the caboose, through the cabin of the truck, and has a small splay at the end of its branch, and a few tendrils along the way that seem to break off. With one much thicker, larger trunk extending upwards and seemingly having pierced through the windshield towards the sky. The hull of the car has been crumpled in, as if its back has been broken. The treads are broken. They've been ripped from the wheels. The front wheels have been popped by the thorns that have been brambling up from underneath. And the headlights are on. One looking forward,
Oh, nice.
one looking askance. And that's where we're ending the episode.
Oh my god.
God, fuck you!
Oh my god.
What the
God.
Never mind. I don't care. I don't care.
Picasso. Nice.
Like
I like Picasso.
So, thank you so much for tuning in to the Unicorn Hunt. This will be a long shot, going on for 4 more episodes. Tune in next week at 8 p.m. EST on Thursday to catch the next episode with everybody here. Myself as GM, as well as the wonderful Alex right here.
Hello.
And thank you again to Soundtail for providing all of the wonderful music and sound effects that we've been using throughout the episode. Thank you so much, and we will catch you next week to find out what the fuck is happening. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.